Yeah, this here is a good old North American grapevine going all the way up to the tops of the trees there, and kissing the sun and making lovely grapes. Now the interesting thing about this is a big one too. This is a doozy. This has been around for a while. Is that in the mid-18th century, when a lot of exports were going on, and the Victorian era, and perhaps prior to that, there was a lot of exchange in goods and from Europe into the New World, the Americas, and we actually brought a disease into Europe that was brought on by the rootstock here of our North American wild grapes. These wild grapes are actually immune to the disease. I'll have to get back with you on the actual names. I can't think of them offhand, the botanical name of this grapevine and all. But what happened was, all of Europe, and in France and in Italy, were all threatened to lose their ancient grapes. Grapes that, of course, we all know the Europeans have favored their winemaking for centuries and centuries. And all was about to be lost, and I had to graft the rootstock here from North American grapes, as the one I'm holding right here, onto their vines in Europe to save their vineyards. True story. More news at 11. Well, here's a wonderful example of our tectonic plates in action here 900 million years ago, a billion years ago, perhaps a little bit longer, back when we were a big supercontinent. And yes, in the forming, eventually the forming of the Appalachian Mountains, one of the oldest mountains. They say that the Appalachian Mountains were as high as Everest when they were being formed, but through the hundreds of millions of years of erosion have brought them down pretty low to the ground. But I just wanted to make this reference here, because when we were in the Mount Rogers region, it was also volcanic, a volcanic region in the... What do you call these in your country? Yeah, we call them crayfish or crawdads. They're like little miniature freshwater lobsters. And, they're actually, the tails, they're quite tasty. And back home in Oregon, they get very, very big. And you could actually even eat the meat and the claws. But, I gathered this fella, right here. Ow, look at that. Just trying to, and, so here we go. As you can see, I'm at Laurel Creek. I guess there's a lot of Laurel Creeks around this country, and this is another one. We were at Laurel Falls, so why the heck not? And why the heck not wouldn't I go swimming? So there you go, just like our there he goes. And here I go. Hoorah! I needed this. And another thing that not only has it been really hot, but it's been really dry too. And it was hot, oh so hot, and no water. In 3 days it was hard to find water, and I've been dehydrated, I've been hot, I've been sweaty, and I'm really having a very hard time staying healthy. These infections that plague me for some reason, perhaps the heat, the sweat, my pores open, dirt gets in a pore, and I've got another infection forming. I'm bathing every morning, or every evening, with those little wipes, those sanitary wipes, fresh wipes. Every night as I go to bed, and I'm putting on medicine, and it's just hard. I guess I'm just prone to this thing, and I just got to deal with it. A lot of times a bear will come to one of these dead trees, and you can see all the burrowing holes from tunneling insects right underneath the bark layer. And now a bear will claw, and you can see the edges here on how, you know, this isn't natural, that it was actually pulled off, and the bear climbed up actually and was pulling the bark off, you know, in a number of locations. And you can see how this is all still fresh from it pulling the bark apart and looking for grubs. It's one of the things that bears do. The mother of all Bellitus Bicoloris right here. Now here's those are really fresh. They're probably not too buggy. This has been, you can just see the bug holes just all the way through it. Got another one coming up here. These things taste marvelous. You can see some animals have fed on the chipmunks and the squirrels. I imagine the bears don't feed on these. They can't really tell the difference between the poisonous ones and the non-poisonous ones, but we can use look, if you just look how big that is compared to, you know, my hand. It's just, you know, and the fragrance is like spiced apples. It's this is better than the king. This is better than the porcini as far as I'm concerned. The taste and the fragrance is absolutely out of this world. You know, I would definitely pick these babies. These babies are fresh and there. I'm gonna leave them just as is. They're still maturing, and their spores will drop out and replenish the world. You gotta love your fungus. And these are actually the same genus and species, Bicoloris, Bellitus Bicoloris, but because of the soil conditions and humidity of this location, not just 20 meters, you know, past the other, they have changed in appearance and in color, and it takes really a very long time to really get good at mushroom and fungus identifying. And don't try this at home. You should always be very, very positive, absolutely positive before you start eating wild mushrooms. And don't just go by one picture on the internet. Well, here we are. There's a big thunderstorm rolling in. I haven't really been in a big thunderstorm in quite a while. I remember before going up on Roan Mountain, it stormed on me the whole time up there, but it was a different kind of storm. It was kind of a freezing cold front up there, 6,000 feet and beyond. So, well, it's coming. I stopped early. I fueled up. I took some ibuprofen. I had quite a hike yesterday. I think I put in about 16 miles or so. It was a good day. I'm high up on a ridge where, well, I probably shouldn't be. Big storm coming, and in scientific terms, it's gonna be a doozy. So I'm ready. And like I had said, I'm going with some new footwear. I'm putting my sandals on. My leather boots are in my backpack, as you see. The good old backpack rain gear. I am not wearing rain gear myself. It's been really hot, so I'm welcoming the coolness of this thunderstorm. Yeah, and we're gonna move on. And I did put my wallet in my backpack to keep that dry, because I really have, you know, my wallet has gotten pretty messed up in the past. My rain gear doesn't really, you know, keep the rain out. It just keeps you from getting drenched, and it does provide a barrier, and it helps with the wind chill and all those things. So, well, here we go. Let's do this. Eastern box turtle on the trail. It looks like it's got some amazing colors and markings. Don't want to disturb him too much, but just want to say, hey, hi. Looks like he's been around for a long time. Very cool, beautiful, great lines.